everyone, and welcome back to another education moment for the Children's Museum Houston. I'm Allie, the Life Science Educator, and today we're going to be doing a fun activity. We'll recreate a shadow box scene based off of one of my favorite environments. If you can tell from my background, it's going to be all about the coral reefs. And this scene is going to be specifically about the flower garden bank reefs that are in the Gulf of Mexico just outside the coast of Texas. So for this activity, all you're going to need is some nature items you find on a walk. So I have some ball moss, I have a few flower seed pods and some dried leaves that I found. I also have some grass and some other really big leaves that I found from a bamboo shoot. But it's up to you. You can use your imagination, so whatever outdoor items you find. I also am going to be using some colorful paper, so you can use construction paper. Lots of this is just copy paper. And then some markers. So I have some markers on my table. I also have some tape and some scissors. And last but not least, you're going to need a box for your shadow box. So come on with me and let's begin the activity. So the flower garden bank reefs are actually a reef system that started growing inside the Gulf of Mexico about 10 to 15,000 years ago. It's home to almost 300 species of fish and 20 different species of coral. It also has a lot of crustaceans like crabs and sponges and plants, and it's home to many sharks, rays, and sea turtles. So here it is right off of the Gulf of Mexico, and there is Houston. So it's actually pretty close to us. And I actually drew some pictures from the internet to kind of inspire me about what I want to put in my shadow box. And I'm going to start with my shadow box structure. So if you notice, I already cut my box. I'm using an old soda can box, but you can even use a shoe box that you flip on its side. You can use all sorts of different items. So what I ended up doing, the way I cut my box, you can see that it has a lip on the top and it has a lip here in front. And I just kept those lips because I want to make sure that I can put things attached to it. So what I'm going to do is I want to make a background. I want a good, nice blue ocean background. So I went ahead and drew one on a blue piece of paper. As you can see, there are my fish and some, seaweed and the sandy bottom. And I'm going to put that in the back. You can actually, if you don't have blue paper, that's okay. You can just draw it with white paper, or you can draw actually on the box. Awesome. So there's my background. Now I want to add a sandy bottom. And there's lots of different ways you can do it. You can actually use real sand if you have like a sand pit in your backyard. But I'm going to use an old brown plastic bag that I get when I go grocery shopping. And I think it kind of looks kind of sandy, like a sandy bottom. And then I'm going to tape it down. And what I want you to do whenever you're building these things is to use your imagination. You can use any items you want. If you wanted to use a bunch of leaves that you crumbled up, that would be great. Now, I even cut out some little blue waves that I designed, and I'm going to put my blue waves, I think, right on the edge. And another option you can do is something that I did right here, is I took one of the brown leaves that I found, I actually cut it in half, and then I cut out the coral that I wanted. Instead of using paper, I'm using this brown leaf. There we go. So I have my coral cut out. And I'm going to tape it right there. So now I have my coral in my ocean with my sandy bottom. And one of the things I found outside was these things you can find on your fences or on trees. They're called moss balls, but I think they kind of look like coral bunches. So I'm actually going to put a few in my scene. I found two, so I'm going to go ahead and use both of them. There's another one. And then I also found some grass outside that I trimmed, and I thought it could be my seaweed. So what I'm going to do is trim it a little bit so it looks a little bit shorter. So I've got a bunch of it. I'm going to use some tape all around. So now it's all one little group. And then I'm using the rest of the tab of tape to tape to the backdrop. So there, now I have some more seaweed in my little ocean environment, I'm going to go ahead and put some more. One of the great things I love about building an eco environment is I kind of get to learn about it as I go. I didn't really know too much about what the ocean floor looked like, but now that I did my research, it has a lot of life in it. So I want to make sure I include a lot of life in my diagram. There's some more coral. I also found these seed pods right here, and I thought they kind of looked like that coral a little bit. So I'm actually going to put some of those in my backdrop as well. Now, if you notice, I haven't included any fish yet. That's okay, because what I did is I took some pieces of paper and I cut out some fish and then I taped them to a piece of string. So here's my happy swimming fish. I did that to 2 fish and I created a stingray too. And what I'm going to do is cut some slits in the top lip of my box. So I'm going to go 1 slit, 2 slit, 3 slit. And I'm going to end up putting the string through the slit. So there, it looks like my fish is swimming around in the ocean. Put 1 more fish. There we go. Wonderful. And then I also cut out some purple coral because I wanted it to look maybe similar to this one. I'm going to tape that somewhere inside my box as well, maybe right here on the side so it kind of looks like it's growing out of the box. How cool is that? So there you have it, an underwater coral scene. Using your imagination, you can make it whatever you want it to be. You can even change the scene up if you wanted it to be a forest or something else. I can't wait to see the things that y'all created. Go ahead and post a picture, send it to the Children's Museum so that we can see what y'all make too. Thanks so much. Bye.